Shai Bashim Rakakodash Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there, Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, I'll pose it as a question. question. Is Russia and Venezuela allies? And I'll give you you'll get the answer as you watch the video. Anyway, I was looking for a topic, and I was watching this. This came up in my notifications. This was put up by GMS Babylon Has Fallen. And the title of the video is Trump Closes Venezuela Airspace, which is that's an act of war. Wars and rumors of wars. And this was put up by the elder out of the man across the pond, Great Britain, the UK, Yakanan, Elder Yakanan. And this is what he said. This is what I caught. I kind of watched into it, and I was looking for a topic. I was checking silver prices, and silver's going up. So right here, actually, let me bring it back some. Before he goes into Jeremiah 50, because he couldn't find it at first. He looked, which cheat sheet is this right here? Blue letter, put a word in, keyword, go to Google, put a phrase in, and the scripture, put Bible, it'll come up. So anyway, let's go ahead and let it play.
Joy.
So the question is, or this could be in the form of a statement. Russia is an ally of Venezuela, or is Russia an ally to Venezuela? Either way. So let's go ahead and listen, and then I'm going to give you the answer. And I'm going to see, I'm going to go into some prophetic end time, Armageddon, Third World War, the third woe, okay? Because we're in that time. But the only thing that's stopping it is the mark of the beast, the microchip.
I will sing, yea, I will sing praises to the Lord, Yahweh Bashib, Yahweh Shai. All right? And that's it. All right? We have to put our trust in the Lord. And that's what it's going to take for Venezuela to be able to get out of what's coming, or to not suffer.
So we're looking at Venezuela, this whole thing with the U.S. and Nero's 47. Oh, they're selling drugs. First of all, their money is in oil. We're talking about billions upon billions of dollars made by that, You're not going to have the president has little boats with a bag of whatever, kilos of whatever. It doesn't make sense. And the whole, like I said, the whole world, every eye around the world is eyeing Babylon the Great, America. When the missiles hit this place, everyone is going to be breaking news all over the planet Earth. So every nation, every leader, people in general, educated people, they all see to what America's doing, the actions that they make, and what we see is everybody else sees the same thing. This guy's going to start something, He's going to start something, and we strongly believe that he's going to usher in the MOTB and the Armageddon. So I'm sorry, let's go.
Because this man, he's the hammer of the whole world, Babylon the Great, right? To not suffer station what this guy's planning, because he has no care.
He mentioned Babylon and the hammer of the whole world. If you ask these scholars, they send you someplace else. They don't have the answers. The hammer of the whole world is this place, the U.S., America. 800 plus military bases around the whole world. Anytime they have a military base, that's an occupation. That means they control that region on the planet Earth, wherever they may be. This is the hammer of the whole earth.
This is the hammer. I'll give you one more scripture, right? So I wasn't going to spend too long. I just kind of want to bring it to the forefront. This is the hammer of the whole world, right? This is what it says here. Where is it? Thou shalt bear the pompous book to the grave, O Lucifer. This is how was the hammer of the whole world being brought down? Where are you? Yes, got one past it. I think I have. Information, send that to heaven. It says here, how narrowly. Hold on, let me just do a search. I think I've.
When he was looking at it, I knew it was Jeremiah because we had did a complete. We broke down the whole scripture, what you call hermeneutics. We did a couple of weeks ago. We had finished Jeremiah chapter 50. Now we got to go into Jeremiah 51. So I know what hammer was. Like I said, we had did it recently, so it's fresh in my mind. But what he's doing, he's doing what he's supposed to do. The elder Yakanan, he's going to the blue letter, putting in a phrase, see what comes up. The other thing you can do, like I said before, go to Google, put a phrase in that's in the scripture, then put Bible. It'll come up.
It's definitely Isaiah 14. How is the hammer of the whole earth? I know I've gone past it. Is it 14? Oh, it's Jeremiah. That's a good bit I did a search. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was Isaiah. So lucky, it's Jeremiah. It's Jeremiah, all right? But this is what comes to mind, all right?
And I know why you said Isaiah 14, because it sounds similar. It speaks about Babylon. Actually, I'm not going to go.
Jeremiah 50 verse 23. All right, because this is who this man. This is who America is. Babylon is the hammer of the whole earth. Right. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is he going to be cut asunder and broken?
And this similar language is in Isaiah 14. That's why he mentioned Isaiah 14. So if you're reading this verse right here, you should be thinking about Isaiah 14. How is the hammer of the whole earth? Matter of fact, let me let it play again.
This is who this man, this is who America is. Babylon is the hammer of the whole earth, right? It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?
How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? The reason why he said Isaiah 14, because it's pretty similar language. Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14. This is the go-to scripture to show you that all the nations are going to be under us. Whether they're going to be vassals or serfs. The Israelites will be all Israelites. Even the ones that are wicked on this side, the Coons, the Uncle Toms, the YNs. Anyway, I'm going to go right to the point. Okay, we know this by heart. Third verse, and it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, or against Babylon, which is the U.S. I might even go into the chat, see what the chat has to say, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The hammer of the whole world is broken, right? How has the oppressor ceased? Isaiah 33:1. When they when they deal treacherously, and when they no longer deal treacherously, the nations will deal treacherously with them. Another precept that come to mind is Habakkuk 2. Really, you can start from the first verse, but the key point is like going into the fourth verse. All right. Take up a taunting proverb. That's also in taunting proverb. Okay, let me read 4 again. I'm sorry. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Isaiah 47 comes to mind, starting at the top. Verse 1. Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked. A staff is also a scepter, so you can understand. You have the staff, you have the power. Yahweh have broken the staff, the power of the wicked, and the scepter, which is you got the staff and you got the scepter, which is a king has. Scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continued stroke, the Israelites and the other nations. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. Let me look up the word persecuted. I'm talking about all the Edomites. Even the ones that are, you got Edomites that are 2-time losers. They didn't do nothing on this side. They ain't going to do nothing in the kingdom. At least the super elite, the rich, they can say they on top and on this side. That's why you got, you go back to the 30s, 20s and the 30s, Prohibition, Bonnie and Clyde, Dillinger. These were Edomites, but some of them was Jake. They were robbing banks, man. They were poor, and they said, no, we're going to live good. But at the end, they had the demise. Everything that you got, you stole. Everything that you got. As soon as you stepped out of the boundary or the border of Mount Seir, as soon as you stepped out of that, whatever you touched or took, that's theft right there. So you stole the whole world. He that ruleth the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. Meaning the mother nation gonna be beating your asses too. Let's see what the Hebrew word is. The Hebrew word is Mara. I'm sorry. Damn, I forgot what this character is. Shit. But this is what it says here. It can't be an L. Let me try this here. Is that a part? My Hebrews. Give me a second here. Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Okay, all right. It's a F, or so this is pa. Let me bring it back. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. My Hebrew's rusty. Mara Dap. And it simply means persecution. Persecution or persecuted. Let me go to the root. It's only found in the scriptures, Old Testament, one time. And the word is radap. Radap. They say radef, radap. Follow after, pursue. Oh, they're beautiful. Pursue. To be behind. You chasing somebody down, right? Follow after, pursue, persecute, run after. So they're going to get ran after by the nations, ultimately the Israelites, and we're going to catch them. Let me see here. To pursue, put to flight. Chase. Chase, dog. Yeah, we're going to dog them. Attend closely upon. To persecute. Harass. Spiritually, we're harassing them, man. That's why the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ADL, they said these guys are hate groups, and everybody fucking has hate. You can show hate to people. You can hate your mother-in-law. You know, you can hate your ex-girl. You can hate your father, but I mean, in law you can't. But your father leaves you, he abandons you. You're gonna show hate. They don't lock you. Well, you hate your father, you hate your mother-in-law. We're gonna lock your ass up. No, you can hate. There's a hate group. What the fuck does that mean? To follow after, meaning chase. Aim, to secure, capture. Lock up, arrest, to run after, a bribe, to be pursued, one pursued, to pursue ardently, hard. We like you guy, you know, new kid, you run after a guy. I'm gonna get my hands on you. Aim eagerly, to secure, to take prisoner, pursue, to be pursued, be chased away. To pursue, chase. And that's in Job 30. Chase them up into the mountain, to the caves, right? So let's come on back. And that's not the elite. That's every Edomite. But I didn't do nothing. But you're part of that nation. You're going to pay for what if you didn't do nothing, you're going to pay for what your forefathers did. That's also in the same chapter. It said, thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. That's what we're doing. And say, how hath the oppressor ceased? That means you're getting ready to go down. The golden city ceased. Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. Nobody's going to stop it. Micah 5 and 7 on down. The whole earth is at rest. And the other nations, Esau's going to get it the worst. The other nations are going to be under us as well. We're not going to be kicking their asses like we're going to kick Esau's ass. But they're going to do our bidding. They're going to be vassals. At best, they're going to be vassals. They're not going to be overlords or nobility, royals. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. Right, peaceful. We're going to bring peace. It said they shall, how does it say? I went through it the other day. Their spears and the pruning hooks. Nations shall learn war. Nations shall not learn war anymore. They break forth into singing, and that's the opposite side of the UN. We used to speak right in front of the UN, and you had this placard. What do you call that? And it's carved, not carved, but chiseled in stone. And the quote is Micah 4 and 2. It says in part, they're going to break their weapons into farming tools, meaning all of them are going to be slaves. They're going to be working in the plantation. Esau is going to get it the worst. And these people, these other nations, they're going to be under us and they're going to be happy about it. It says the whole earth is at rest and is quiet, peaceful. They break forth in the singing. Who's going to break forth in the singing? We're going to break forth in the singing first and foremost, and the other nations are going to break forth in the singing because Esau was taken down. Because we're gonna show righteousness to the people. If you do the right thing, you good. You work. You do what you got to. You make that money. Isaiah 60. You make sure that the forces of the Gentiles coming in, and you good. That's feudalism right there. Feudalism is taxes. Feud goes back to the word fee or tax or tribute. Like I said previously, the Roman Empire didn't put everybody in slavery. What they did was they set up a lordship, overlords. They had vassals, which is the middle class. Then they had serfs. The gladiators, they had others that they made slaves. The gladiators were men that didn't want to fight, but they were strong. They were strong. Well, we're going to make him a gladiator. You got no say in the matter. And if you came up in the ranks, the emperor, the Roman emperor, would give you a wooden sword, meaning you don't have to fight no more. You're retired. You're a great champion, and you're free. And you might have married a senator's daughter and had children and came up in the rank. Remember, I keep telling you this. We took over the Roman Empire starting 96 A.D. Not 193 A.D. Septimius Severus. Even Esau will tell you that Septimius Severus was a Jake. His son was Caracalla. That's when you had Pessinus Niger, which he was a Jake. No, we started ruling about 100 years before that. 96 A.D. Nerva. I keep saying that because it's fresh in my mind, right? It's a year. The fir tree rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon. The trees represent people, but trees are going to grow better because you have a land Sabbath. The earth is going to expand. Saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us. Like Esau, the nations are going to be happy that we're in power over them. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It have raised up from their thrones. These are kings long dead, coming back. I'm going to read that in NLT. All the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? The great equalizers, the missiles, that's also in Joel. You know what I'm going to do? Let me go here. Okay, let me go to the NLT, the same verse. Let me get back to the video. Okay, here we go. 9th verse. In the place of the dead, there is excitement. How can it be excitement in the place of the dead? Them spirits, the place of the dead is where you're in the spiritual realm. So the Most High brings these nations and Israel. They live, they die, they go back in the spirit world, they live again, you know? They said there is excitement over your arrival. Over whose arrival? East Babylon's arrival. arrival, excuse me, what are they going to arrive at? They're going to hit the ground. They're going to hit their face with the ground. The spirits of world leaders and mighty kings, long dead, stand up to see you or to see your fall. That's reincarnation right there. That's reincarnation right there. Let me show you something else. This is in Matthew 12. This is for you newer people, because everybody else should know it. You've been in this thing for years. Okay, let me go right. Let me do this. Let me cheat. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I got it. Let me start from. Okay, let me start here. These wicked scribes and Pharisees asked for a sign, right? So this is what the Lord, the Messiah said. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall. Like, in other words, we tell you that you're Israelites. Jake will say, well, you got to give me the proof, undeniable proof. Your books. No, we don't got to. We got to tell you. We'll tell you you're Israelites, this, that, and the third. If you can't see it, okay, brother, you can't see it. No big deal. I don't got to give you a whole bunch of books. Sometimes we do. An evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given to it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly. Now it says fish in the book of Jonah. And whale just means crier, a whaler. Bob Marley and the Wailers. In England, it's a whaler is a crier. Bob Marley and the Criers, or singers, right? So shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the what? In the heart of the earth. Now, it says in Acts that he's going to be in hell. So is he going to be in the heart of the earth, or is he going to be down in hell? That's another thing to throw on a Christian. What does it mean? What is it meant by our Lord being in hell for 3 days and 3 nights? Was he surrounded by fire? Yes, yeah, he was surrounded by fire. And he taught the prisoners. Peter said that. He taught the prisoners down there. He's teaching people in hell. No, they ain't talking about that. It says the heart of the earth, meaning he was put in the grave. He's put in the tomb. And he rose up from it. And if you go to Jonas said, I am in hell. Merely paraphrasing. Was he actually in hell? People that go to hell, are they going to wind up in the fish's belly? No, he was in a hellish condition. Meaning, if I don't get rescued from this fish, that the fish is going to digest me, and I'm going to be gone. So that's what he meant by that. It says, so here you got knuckleheads teaching that there's a hell, and Israelites. You should be ashamed of yourself, Bishop Nathaniel, for teaching that nonsense. You should be ashamed of yourself. And Kanai Gabar, grow a backbone. You know that's bullshit. Y'all, what's up? You need to stand the fuck up too. There's no such thing as hell. If there was, he would have taught that years ago. Anyway, it says the men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation, meaning everything is reincarnated, something that a Christian can't understand, and shall condemn it. This goes hand in hand with Isaiah 14:9. Kings long dead come up and basically condemn this place, because they repented at the preaching of Jonas, and behold, a greater than Jonas is here. The queen of the south, which is the queen of Sheba, Makeda, shall rise up. She was a hoe too. shall rise up in judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it, for she came from the uttermost part of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and behold, a greater than Solomon is here. And he was Solomon. The reason why he said a greater than Solomon is here, I'm Solomon, but a new and improved Solomon, let's say. One that's perfect. So the nations are rooting for this man to go down. Especially with the king of Babylon, Nero 47. Everybody's watching what's going on in America, man. The moves that this guy makes. So let's come on back. So I read this. With one voice, they all cried. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Let me come back over here to the King James. Damn, what the hell did I just do? Isaiah 14. Hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. That's the people and dead kings, long dead, coming back, reincarnation. These leaders of these different countries, they were kings in previous lives. So they're coming back in their position. Hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations, and they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? The equalizes the missiles. Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp, pride, thy pomp is brought down to the grave. Your kingdom is going to be dead, set on fire. Jeremiah 7 and 11. And the noise of thy viols, thy music, the worm is spread unto thee, and the worms do cover thee. I remember years ago driving on the highway. You don't hit no potholes. You can go to nice areas, man. I used to do deliveries in Scarsdale. That's upstate, not way upstate. It's depending on what part of New York you in. It's less than an hour to get to Scarsdale. That's Edomites, upper class people. Do deliveries around there's potholes and shit. These highways, you got Rockland County, you got Westchester, you got these counties outside of New York City, and they got as many potholes in nice areas because you know what? They're taking the tax dollars, they're raising your taxes, property taxes, and so forth, and they're not putting it back into the fixing the streets. They're pocketing the money. And nobody shouts out. And see, this one man, he's going to lead. We believe he's going to lead you into, because you know why you think that way? Because they done taught you in school that this place, America's never going to go down. It's just like a guy that's a boxer. He might be 25-0. His 26th fight, he might get knocked out. But he didn't won 25 times. 25, I fought 25 people tried to get me 25 times and failed 25 times. So you think 26, you're going to win this one. And normally when that happens, your career goes down. You have wins and losses. You don't want to fight no more because you think you're invincible. And that's the problem with this place. This man doesn't realize, Nero 47 doesn't realize, if he can see the future, he would back everything up. He would be the great ambassador to the world. He would work deals out, but it's his pride because he thinks this kingdom is going to go on forever, and that's why you're going to go down hard. They listen to us, but they don't follow. They say, nah, these are niggas, man. This is all bullshit. Black Hebrew Israelites. Come on now. Some of them are saying, well, wait a minute. What if they're right? RFK said that. He said, what if you find out that God is black? What if you find out when you go to heaven and you go before God, he said, God, you see a black man. What the hell are you going to do? So guess what? If God is black, then it's slaves that you enslave blacks were his children. Them crackers didn't believe that, didn't accept that shit. That's a fairy tale, bro. Anyway, let's come on back. Well, let's go back to the video.
How is he going to be cut asunder and broken? It's going to begin with the Russians and their allies, and it's going to be completed by Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus.
So the statement and or the question is, Russia is allied to Venezuela. Is Russia an ally of Venezuela?
Jesus Christ and his chariot. He's going to completely destroy America, but in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Right, America, but it's going to begin with the Russians, because this is the hammer of the whole earth, and he's showing you that. For him to go and say he's closing all airspace over Venezuela and no one can't check him. I'm waiting for the European Union to say that's against the law. How dare you? How can you can't go?
You know what's going to make him back up? When Russia gets involved. And Russia got involved a couple of weeks ago and he backed up. He wanted to sit down and have talks. But the spirit, Yahweh got the spirit. He's doing what the Most High wants him to do. He's doing what Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai wants him to do. So let him do it.
Closing other countries, a sovereign country's airspace. You're not going to hear these other Edomite countries call him out. You're not going to hear Keir fucking Wanker Starmer, right, the British Prime Minister. You're not going to hear that fucking slow fucking lemon, right? You're not going to hear him call him out, right? He's an absolute lemon.
Oh, he's a perfect puppet. You can see it. You look good close enough, you'll see the strings. He's an absolute puppet that gets scripts every day. Let me spell it out. In order for you to work, you must have a digital ID. There's no other way I can put it. Let me spell it out. And I bet you he likes Tootsie Rolls too.
Keir Starmer, right? You're not going to hear that lemon, Keir Starmer, call him out. And you're not going to hear the rest of these Edomites throughout Europe call him out and say, how dare him? You're not going to hear the small hats call him out.
Because these Edomites think they're going to go on forever and ever. They think they're never going to be taken down. Nero 47, come 2026 is going to be a 1-year celebration of the greatness of America, 250 years of America's strength. What he doesn't understand is the average empire goes to 250 years. So that's it. Time's running out. You know, you celebrating your 111th birthday, you better think about fucking getting your house in order, because you're going to die.
Say, what you doing? You can't go to another man's airspace, all right? The only people who are going to call him out are probably going to be the Russians, the Chinese, you know, America's natural allies, basically. And not allies, adversaries, so lucky. Right? America's natural adversaries will call him out, all right? You're not going to hear their allies, the NATO allies, say, hold on a minute, how dare you close another country's sovereign airspace? Who do you think you are? Who do they think they are? They are the hammer of the whole earth. That's America, the United States of America, Babylon the Great.
They're the king of the earth. That's why they do. That's why he does this thing. And by arrogancy. Look, we run this shit. We can do whatever the fuck we want to do. Look up the word hegemony. Hegemony. Look up the word hegemony. Somebody could put it in, if you want, you can put it in, or not. You can put it in the chat. Hegemony. Bully on the block. Anytime I hear the word hegemony, I think of a bully on the block. You know what happens to bullies? Eventually, another guy come up that beats a bully, and then he's no longer a bully.
That is the hammer of the whole earth. And this is why it says here in Jeremiah 50 verse 23, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How? How is Babylon become a desolation amongst the nations? How is it gonna?
Desolation, desert, after the missiles hit. If Nero, depending on his 47, depending on his status, if he's up there, them super elite rich like him, he'll make it, he'll escape. But guess what? He's going right into captivity. He's gonna get shackled up. He's gonna get arrested. If he's not that high up, he'll be here in America, probably playing golf. Missile's gonna hit. Well, it tells you in Jeremiah. He's reading out of Jeremiah 15. It says the king of Babylon's hands became feeble.
What happen is going to start via a war that's going to escalate throughout the Middle East, the Levant, right? The Promised Land, throughout Mesopotamia, whatever you want to call that Peter land out there right now, right? As in the kingdom, it will be known as the Promised Land, right? It's going to start there, and it's going to escalate, and it's going to reach to the.
Well, Iran is going to be involved as well. You got Israel. Israel's going to do something to Iran, full assault. United States going to back, Neti up, and eventually Russia's going to get involved. So what's the title of this video? Is Russia is allied to Venezuela. Second part of the title is Russia allied of Venezuela?
To the coast of America, to the west and to the east coast of America, it's gonna spread that war, all right? But it's gonna start in the Levant, in the Middle East, as the Bible says, the least of the flock shall draw them out, right? Which are the Israelis, the small hats. So how is this man gonna be brought down? This is America is the hammer of the whole earth. I have laid a snare for thee. And kind of everything I see America does is like a snare. Even them, what they're trying to do to Venezuela and closing their airspace. And if you close a country's airspace, you're looking to go into invade. It's as simple as that. You're telling all airlines to avoid that place because it's going to be missiles, warplanes going up and down through that air, right? Through that airspace. But I see these.
It's called an invasion. Now, Venezuela is a member of the UN. United States is a member of the UN. So that would be considered a police action. The rest of the world has to be involved. UN troops supposed to come in and quell it. He's going to look like the bad guy. But to the average American, the red hatters, they don't see it that way. America can't do no wrong. No, God bless America. No. And they think of a white man. That's why your pride, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cleft of the rock. And even if you watch all our videos, but even if you say, you know what, they're right, them black Hebrew Israelites, they're right, let's do it. You can't turn it back because the Most High is going to make you do what he's going to do. Just like he's going to make Putin, if he's still the president, if he doesn't die, it said that he's going to take his put hooks in his jaws. So the Most High is going to make Russia do what they got to do. The Most High is going to make the EU and the NATO nation that possess long-range missiles to do what they do. That's in Revelation 17. We go through that over and over again.
These things, just like what it says, I see this as a snare for America. So the Lord says, I've laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware, all right? Because ultimately that snare is going to come by the way of intercontinental ballistic missiles from the Russians, from Russia and its allies. And Russia is an ally for Venezuela. Thou art found and also caught because thou hast striven against the Lord. striven against the Lord. Now, Venezuela and Russia, all right? Venezuela, all right? And Russia, relations, right, include the cooperation between Russia in common concerns such as common states of oil exports policies towards the United States. Venezuela, yeah, look, where have I got it here? It is, sorry. This is what I'm reading here. Just to show you, right? Russia-Venezuela relations include cooperation between Russia and Venezuela in areas of common concern, such as common status as oil exporters and policy towards the United States. Babylon the Great. Venezuela is Russia's most important trading and military ally in Latin America. All right. So does Russia stand by and watch America tear Venezuela? We're going to see. But they have strong relations between the two. As it says here, it's Russia's most important trading military ally in Latin America is Venezuela. So we're going to see. But ultimately, like I said, Russia is the one that's going to take this man down. Russia is a country that's going to begin the taking down of America. Yahushua is going to complete the complete taking down and destruction of America. It says, I've laid a snare for thee. So Venezuela could be a snare for America. And thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord, Yahweh. All right? The Lord has opened his armory. All right? What's the Lord's armory? Are the intercontinental ballistic missiles and every other type of conventional missile that's out there. That's the Lord's armory, and has brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord God, Yahweh of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. All right? And the land of the Chaldeans is America, Babylon the Great. So let's keep an eye on what's going on there, because like I said, they've closed all the airspace in Venezuela. All right? But we need to see what's going to happen next. All right? Because that can only be a move for invasion. I can't see any other reason why you close another country's airspace, right? Which is, you're not allowed to do that. This is what I'm saying to you. These Edomites, they're all working together, right? Except the Russians, right? Because a lot of those Russians are jakes, man. Trust me, right? The Russians hate these Western Edomites. Let me tell you, with a vengeance, can't stand them, right? So they have a high distaste for these Western Edomites. But Russia is the country that's going to take them down. But this is the hammer. This is the hammer of the whole earth. That's why the scripture says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, which are the Edomites, controlled from Babylon the Great, Edom. So the hammer is showing himself. The hammer is showing his power. All right? He's showing what he can do. He doesn't need no one. Seriously, you got to think what this guy did, This guy just went and closed another country's airspace. All right? He just said, it's closed. That's it. Don't fly over it. Don't do this over it. Don't do that over it. Babylon. How? Let me just grab. Let me go to Isaiah, because I was in Isaiah 14, but let me just quickly grab it. All right? But that's the hammer of the whole world, is the United States of America. All right? Isaiah, let me just quickly grab these few precepts right before we shut this down. Isaiah 14 and 4. So I start 14 and 4. Yeah. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. The king of Babylon right now is President Trump, Emperor Nero 47. That is the king of Babylon right now. All right? Babylon is the United States of America. He ain't talking about Rome, right? The 7 hills in Rome. And he ain't talking about some other far-fetched country. This is talking about the United States of America. It says that, now take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor seized? This is the oppressor. This man went and closed the whole country's airspace and just did it via a tweet on his Truth platform, and obviously told these generals and that airspace is now considered closed. That's an oppressor. How was the oppressor seized? How was he seized? The Golden City seized. The Golden City is the United.
I didn't know he was going to go to the death. I didn't know he was going to go to the article about Venezuela, because I went to Google. Oppressor, who, when you go back to Isaiah 14:2, it said we're going to oppress them that oppressed us. How is the oppressor ceased? Who's the oppressor? The American Edomite and all the Edomites around the earth. Not every, look, you're going to have some, it tells you in Job 20, verse 5, that they shall seek to please the poor. That's talking about these Edomites. They're getting with Jake. A lot of these Edomite women are in love with Jake and so forth. And a lot of Edomites are doing good things for certain Jakes out there, maybe because of guilt. But guess what? That you're still going to go into captivity, because you're going to have to pay for what your forefathers did. That's also in Isaiah 14:21. And then you could have been wicked as hell, as Genesis are dead wrong. Even these guys that I was watching last night, not all of it, because I started watching at fucking 1 a.m. I fell asleep. What's his name? What is it? House of Bread, which is I believe his name, whatever title he is, Ariala, out of Philly. He was part of Sakari. He broke off from Sakari over that big scandal. So you had a bunch of groups that broke off. You had Genesis, you got Masada, Israelites, which is formerly Sakari. You have these two brothers? They're based out of Florida. What's the name of the stars? Something stars. So you got a lot of different groups that have popped up that broke off from Sakari, and that's the spirit. Now guess what? They were allied to each other. Masada still cool with Genesis. House of Bread still cool with Genesis. But guess what? As soon as Genesis came up with the Gentiles, that whole Gentile argument, they all went against them. They said they wanted a peer review, and they got it. All them guys said, nah, you guys are going off. Wi-Fi even said you guys are going off. And we didn't partake in that. We just put videos because you're not our peers. We're over you, bro. You came up under, you knew that you found that you were an Israelite through us. Starting from the apostles on down.
United States of America, not Rome, not the Vatican. This is America.
Yeah. The one brother formerly of GMS that said when they broke off, they said the Vatican City is is Babylon. Then eventually I found out why he said that. Peter mentioned the church in Babylon. The church in Babylon were Israelites living in Iraq.
The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked, the Most High.
The Edomite, from the elites to the king of Babylon, to the military brass, to the average person. How is the Golden City going to completely cease? When the missiles are dropped on it.
It's also all these events are going to lead up to America's destruction and judgment. The Lord is going to break the staff of the wicked. The staff of the wicked are the Edomites, and the stronghold is America. This is why none of these Edomite countries have lifted up a single word against America to what they did this morning. No one. I've not heard it from anyone. I've not heard any emergency meetings with NATO officials.
But the thing is, those major European nations are going to they're going to do something. He's going to stir them up, and they're going to ultimately say, look, your enemies, we're going to destroy you. Your own allies. The beast is going to destroy the whore. Something that whether it be Nero 47 or somebody else or JD Vance, they're gonna make a move where they said, okay, we're gonna fire him up. We're gonna put fire on their asses, man. Jane 5 tell you that.
Any emergency meetings with the European Union to say, oh, this is against the law. This is. I've not heard the United Nations chime in
because they all rub elbows. They're allies. They're not supposed to say nothing. That show you that they're wicked. You see something going on and you're gonna act like you don't see the shit because you're benefiting from it.
Not heard this lemon fucking. Excuse my language. Keir Starmer is a lemon. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of England, is an absolute lemon. I've not heard him chime in.
I don't know what a lemon is. Somebody explain that to me. That's an English thing. We call him a puppet. He propped up. You can see it. He's a perfect puppet.
Say, look, what you doing, Trump? You can't close another country. Could you imagine? If America said they're gonna,
he's got to stay in his place. They got to give him. He's waiting for a script. He doesn't move unless he gets that script.
Close Britain's airspace. That's an act of war. Seriously. So you know it's an act of war. That means now they are going to definitely go to war because now they're clearing the floor for them to strike. For them,
as war. It's an actual invasion. It's an actual invasion, which in international laws, international norms, the UN will condemn it. They're not condemning it, man.
Them to invade. But we're going to see how it plays out over the next few days. For the Lord is going to break the staff of the wicked. This is the wicked showing.
I'm going to tell you how it's going to play out. If Russians start sending battleships over there, then Nero's going to change his tunes. He's going to go, let's get to sit down and negotiate. The Most High set this man up beautifully. And nobody's telling this guy, you're not using the I word, M, I don't want to say that. You have an absolute madman that's sitting on the throne. And nobody's saying nothing. The regular people, they protesting like hell, but they don't listen to the people protesting. You got to listen to top brass, the top, Republicans. They ain't condemning this shit, man. So when the missiles come, they're gonna say, "Oh shit, we should have did something."
His power and the scepter of the rulers. These are your rulers right now, and they're showing their power right now.
Hey, the leader of Sakari, I don't know if Sakari's they changed, don't call it Sakari no more, but Al-Azhar said this before a couple of months before the scandal. He was on No Jumper, and one of the brother, dark-skinned brother, the heavy-set brother said, when is this going to come to pass? When is the end going to come? He said it can happen. What did he say? He said it can happen next week and happen 3, 5 months, 6 months from now. He said it can happen in 1,000 years. And we jumped on him about it. He got mad. Instead of him saying, y'all was wrong, I shouldn't have said that. He jumped on it, got all emotional. I said, how in the fuck can this motherfucker go with that? Meaning this, that the beast system is going to last for 1,000, that'll be 1,000, almost 1,050 years. That'll be the longest ruling empire in the history of empires, bro. So we jumped on it, right?
They're showing it, man. And I'm glad. People say, oh, we don't run the world. Yeah, you devils do run the world. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, that's exactly what he's doing. He's smoting the people in wrath. This is what he said. This is why, what's his name? Fingerbob said that it's colonialism. He says he's accused Trump of colonialism, all right? It's a colonialist threat. Right? This is what I showed you earlier, right? Venezuela condemns Trump airspace closure warning, all right? It says a colonialist threat. This is what this is, all right? What was the other one I was looking at? That was the BBC one there. These are all...
That's showing you that the world, BBC, is outside the country. I bet you Al Jazeera is saying something about it. What's this one? that's owned by Iran. What the hell is the paper? There's a news company. It used to be on YouTube. I think they got kicked it off of YouTube. Russia Today. They're talking about it. Yeah, Russia Today. I can go ahead and look at that if I want. Let me do this and bring this over. All right, so what do we do as far as prophecy is concerned? Give me a second. What the hell fuck happened? Excuse my French. Okay, here we go. I want to go to Russia Today. Give me a second, y'all. Let it come up. Give me a second. Following. I'm looking for Russia Today. When that so-called war invasion took place with Russia invading Ukraine, that's when YouTube knocked them off. Let me close this. Okay, where's Russia Today? Okay, here we go, Russia Today, which is live. Let's see what we're talking about.
The terminal came under what officials are calling a targeted attack.
Okay, boom. Hey, Russia. Ukraine conducts terror acts to divert attention from corruption. Ooh, they do say that's Ukraine is like the most corrupt system out there. Russia, Ukraine conducts terror acts to divert attention from corruption scandal. Give me a second. Let me just go to the main page here. Let me see. Content. Let's go to content. Worlds apart, found the U.S. Okay, let's see what this is all about. 6 hours ago, the U.S. Operates beyond I said that. They're operating against international laws and international norms. The U.S. operates beyond international law to maintain global hegemony. Did not I mention the word hegemony? Did I not ask you to put the definition of the word hegemony in the chat? Hegemony. Let's look up the word hegemony again. Hegemony. Hegemony. Look at that. Almost $60 an ounce. Silver. Back more than 10 almost 15 years ago, is it? It was like 30. Okay, I'm sorry. This is a different chart. I'm not gonna go all into this. Anyway, let's do this. There we go. This is 2012, 2022, 23, 24, 25. Damn, so we're talking almost 15 years. It went from $33 to almost $60. It's going up in slow motion though. Let me see. hegemony. Then we're going to close. Yeah, hegemony no longer exists in America. I'm going to go to the definition, then I'm going to get ready to close. The claim that American hegemony no longer exists is a matter of ongoing debate with many scholars who and analysts argue that while American power has declined, it remains a leading though not hegemonic power. It's not the big bullies getting old, and people see it. So he said, now we can get them. In a more multipolar world, arguments, they don't have say. They don't always have say. They'll get pushback. They'll get pushback from China. They'll get pushback from Russia. They'll get pushback from Iran. If Russia sends battleships to Venezuela, Trump will be ready to sit down and talk. He'll pull back. Because we know his nature, what he's really like. Let me just go to the word hegemony. Hegemony is the dominance of or leadership of one group, state, or nation over others. That's all you need to know. So they're losing it. Here we go. We got some cartoons here. So that represents America. That represents slavery, the mules, and these are big corporations. This is what you call what's the word? Fascism. When corporations and state come together as one. The whip represents their military power. We're going to bring all these companies into these different nations. Yeah, this says a lot right here. So they're losing that power. How have the oppressors ceased? There it goes, king. What is hegemony? The king rules. The king of Babylon, the cruel lord. Maintaining U.S. hegemony. U.S. national security strategy, Cold War mentality, meaning we're going to shoot the missiles on you, but it's going to backfire and the missiles are going to be shot on them. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cliff of the rock, you Caucasians. Now, this is what I did. I'm going to get ready to close it now. Okay, where is it? I don't want this either. Where in the hell did I put it? Where the hell did I put it? I'm sorry, y'all. I typed in, I went to Google and I typed in Venezuela. Let me do this. Bear with me for a second, y'all. That's not what I want. I don't know what the hell happened. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. I'm sorry. Again. Maybe it's right here. Let me see. Anyway, I asked a question. Let me just do it this way. Now it's acting up. There we go. Psst. Why did it do that, man? Just bear with me. Hey, these dudes that be falling off, they fall off because they don't study and they don't see anything coming. They don't look. They don't do searching. Okay, here we go, right here. So before I did the video, before I hit the button, the elder was doing his video. I didn't know he was going to go into Venezuela, an article dealing with Venezuela and Russia being allies. Is Russia in Venezuela ally and Venezuela allies? Yes, Venezuela and Russia are strategic allies. So if whether you, hey, Russia's going to get involved one way or another. Russia's going to get involved one way or another. As soon as they bring ships, mark my word, if they bring battleships, Nero 47 is going to change his tune. He's going to want to sit down and have talks. What they call him, he had the American press call him, they call him Taco. Trump always chickening out. Yes, Venezuela and Russia are strategic allies with a relationship built on mutual interests in areas like military, energy, your oil, and politics, and a history of cooperation including arms sales, military, and support against Western sanctions. That the Western sanctions represents the West. That's America, right? While the two countries have a strong partnership, Russia's ability to provide direct military assistance is currently limited due to the war in Ukraine. Oh, so pretty much they can't help them because they're fighting the war in Ukraine. So look, it's not in the best interest for U.S. to call the war to be stopped because guess what? Russia's going to, divert the energy and their focus on Venezuela. Ultimately, they're going to focus it on Iran. Something's going to happen in Iran. World War III is not going to take place because of a war in Venezuela. It's going to get sparked off by what the U.S. and IHOP, I'll say use the word IHOP, okay, are planning to do to Iran. Russia's going to get involved. Then they're going to think they're going to sit down. Russia's not going to want to sit down. They shall not regard their silver and gold, right? They shall have no pity on their children, right? So when they say, well, let's sit down at the table, they say, no, we ain't sitting down at the table. We're going to war. We're going to destroy this fucking place. When they destroy this place, China's going to be involved. They possess missiles. I think Russia has the most missiles. If I'm not mistaken, U.S. is second and China is third. Then you have EU nations, NATO nation that has these missiles. So look at it, man. Look, in Venezuela, Russia answers U.S. support for Ukraine with symbolic reciprocity. Anyway, That's all I'm going to say. Shalom. Matter of fact. Okay, here's this knucklehead right here. He gonna kick it off, we believe. Unless Vance becomes the president. Something happens to him, he's impeached, whatever. Then Vance will be the new cruel lord. See, we don't have debates with Christians. Christians are stuck on stupid. Well, the three, God, Father, God, the Son, Holy Spirit, they're all co-equal. And the Gentiles, see, we're the Gentiles. I don't pay them no mind. I don't pay Christians any mind. They'll never argue or debate about prophecy because they don't know they know absolutely nothing about prophecy. Anyway, shalom, on to the next shalom.